Well, I finally got this 1967 chopper that I got off of Old Iron Parts Company. I guess they're in Wisconsin, I think, or Minnesota. Any case, it's a raffle I won. They sent this bike. It doesn't have a title, so I went online and I looked for an engine that I can get with a title. And so I got this from a gentleman down in Florida, and this is an XLCH 1969, and it has a magneto, which we got some parts in here. Some push rods, a magneto, and a few other things. They also came with a full gasket kit. I guess this is a motor he was going to rebuild but didn't, so I'm hoping that this motor will go right into that bike nice and easy. But I'm going to rebuild this motor first. I'm going to take it apart, finish the rebuild on it, and I mean, it may need more work. For all I know, you know, usually these things you're going to want to bore out the pistons or bore out the cylinders, maybe a cam, I don't know, we'll see. I got to take it apart, do some measurements, so I'm just trying to clear up the shop here. I got the other bikes over here, which I'm hoping to get together with my son soon so we can go for a ride. I was going to go today, but it's just way too muggy and looks like it's going to rain any moment. So in any case, this is my next project. Hoping to work on this soon. I don't think I'm going to keep this paint job on here, though I do like the blue. I like the blue here with these little designs they put on it. I think I'm going to preserve that, clean it up, maybe touch it up. We'll see, but these are going to be completely different. This is probably garbage anyway, and I don't know if that'll fit, but we'll see. And then of course, you know, this tank, I don't know, we may or may not keep it, but I don't like this paint, so I think that's a little bit too 1980s, 1990s, early 2000s. Just reminds me of my high school days with the big hair and the Cavaricis, if you remember those days. Anyway, the frame is nice. Got a lot of work here. I haven't even tried kicking it over or anything. I just moved it up on here to start tearing it apart. And now that I have a titled motor, I should be able to get this on the road, however long it takes me when my spare free time to work on this. So, you know, tune in and we'll see how this goes. All right, thank you. Well, I unbolted or unscrewed the motor. It looks like it came with this little motor mount, which is pretty handy. I really appreciate that. I tried lifting this up to put it up here, and I'm just not going to be able to do it myself. So once I can figure out, get my son over or some way to lift that out, I need to put it up on the bench and actually go through it. It came with a complete engine gasket kit. But you know, looks like there's a lot of gaskets in there, so that should get me at least started. I'm sure I could take the carburetor and rebuild it. I can't really see what that is. I don't have my glasses on. It kind of resembles a Bendix a little bit. No, I don't know. Maybe just a regular Harley one. So then I got to get this motor out of here, and probably going to need some help with that as well. So what I think I'll do for now is just set this off to the side, lift this table up, and just start going through and unbolting the try to get the motor out of the frame, or at least get it to that point. Then I can work on this motor, clean this whole bike. I got to figure out who does seats. Maybe there's somebody in my area. I'll have to put a whistle out on Facebook, see if I can get these seats redone. I don't hate it, although I might replace it. I have to think about it. This is kind of cool, but it doesn't, you know, there's a bit of a gap here. This is actually on a metal frame, so it would have to be bent back and everything. I don't know. We'll see. A lot to think about. Right now, nothing works on this bike. Even the brake is like rock hard on it. Doesn't, yeah, throttle just goes like that. Let's see what the clutch does. Yeah, totally dead clutch. I don't even know if it's connected. Doesn't look like it. Doesn't matter. This whole bike is coming out. Hopefully, the clutch is good in this motor. I'm probably going to end up replacing it anyway. We'll see. Once I can get that motor apart and I start measuring it. I think the guy said this motor came in for a rebuild, but it never actually got done. That's why there has the complete engine gasket kit, where the guy started to do it and then handed it off to the guy, but eventually sold it to him, who sold it to me. Anywho, it's something to start with, and hopefully it'll bolt in here. It should. I don't see why not. And it'll be, let's see, just have yeah, I don't know, we might have to do something. We'll see. Looks like this piece comes off, whatever this is. Maybe that's just a mounting point, because it looks like the other motor doesn't have this piece on it. What else are we missing here? Oh, we don't have a starter on this because this is kick only. And it's gonna have a magneto. I wonder if they started taking this apart. It's really hard to tell. And what else? Yeah, these handlebars, these risers definitely have to go. I think these are ugly. You know, like I said, it's another one of those like throwbacks to the 80s or in the 90s. At least to me. Kind of reminds me of, you know, New Jersey. If the bars are a little lower down in here, maybe I'll get those same mounts that I got for the Softail. I liked how they looked. They're a lot yo high. Lower this down. It won't look like it's sticking up like it is. And I don't know what to do about all this up front. I assume these are going to be okay. We'll have to check them out. I don't really see any movement. Very little movement. Anywho, it's a project bike for sure. And I'm going to have some fun with it. Alright, we'll start out by removing this exhaust. Keep all these bolts too with this clamp. I don't want to lose it. Well, looks like we got one more bolt back behind this exhaust right here. Let's see if I can grab it. Yeah, that looks like a 9/16. I'm going to ratchet. Okay, the exhaust is out. That's a good start. A little bit more difficult than I imagined. Some custom work. Looks like they drilled a hole right through the frame here to mount that. I might have to clean that up. Maybe find a different way to mount it. We'll see. I'll just leave it the way it is. So let's see, what next? I suppose we could disconnect the carburetor and the gasoline. I think that filter's had better days, so that's probably going to come out. I don't think there's gasoline in this. This petcock looks really old. I don't know. It smelled pretty bad, so I'm probably going to have to take it out, flush it out and everything too. So let's see, what else can I get out of the way? So I take this kicker off. I think this is bolted on. No, it's hard to tell. All right, early Monday morning. I figured I'd do some work before I have to go to work. I work from home, so it gives me a couple hours here to maybe do a little bit of wrenching before I have to go into my home office and do some work. So I'm going to go ahead and try to take this tank off and take off the carburetor. Just as a way to move forward, because right now it's raining outside again and I probably won't be able to get outside to clean that motor. Maybe I'll just do it in the rain. We'll see. But in any case, let me start on this. Hopefully this will not spill gas. So I'll just cut that right off. That is a Bendix. I can't really tell what year. It looks like it's just like my other ones, except it doesn't have the adjustable main jet, which is that's more common. Yeah, okay, cool. I'm going to take these intakes and put it on the other one as well, because it doesn't have intake. I'm going to go ahead and pop this off now. Okay, get one. Looks like, there we go. I'll take that. Alright, I think I'm just going to go ahead and strip this bike down. After looking at it, looking at all the wiring is completely a redo. That's going to have to be completely ripped out. The clutch cable down here is all worn off. And you know, the throttle cable is going to have to be replaced. I would say pretty much everything that's rubber on this bike is going to have to be replaced. I think I'm just going to go and cut it all out, make some room, take off the seat, take out the oil pan, the oil tank, take off this. I don't even know if this thing can actually remove this. Haven't figured out how it's actually connected yet. So that's a battery box, which we may not need. I mean, we're going to use it because I'm going to have lights on this so that I don't die on the road. And then all these oil cables are just completely cracked and dry rotted, and you know, I don't know this wiring. I'm not going to trust any of it. I'm going to clip it all out and just pull everything out and redo it all from scratch. And whether I get a wiring harness for this or just go and create one on my own. I haven't decided yet. I don't know what that is. Is that a stop? Maybe that's a stop. Yeah, so it looks like I've got one here, so you can't go too far. That's really ugly. Maybe I'll do something different. I'm probably not going to use these handlebars or these grips or these controls. I don't know. I think this bike I may go with something like from Prism Supply and just do a nice clean build on it, hide all the wiring. This is all tubes. There's already holes in it. Maybe I can run the wiring down through the tubes so everything's hidden out of the way. You know, here's another hole here to come out of. So yeah, a lot of options here I think with this bike. So I'm just going to get started. I'm going to start with the seats and work my way with whatever I can get to first, whatever's in the way. So the goal is to basically get this frame stripped out to a roller. Then I need to take the wheels off and rebuild them. Don't know what I'm going to need for this. Probably just some, you know, upgraded parts. Certainly going to need a new cable all around. And as far as the back here, I don't have a hub, so I'm going to need to find a hub for this. I've actually thought about what I can do to replace this with disc brakes. So that's still in my mind, but I do like the look of that front hub with the brake in it, so I might just stay with this just for uniformity. And there's nothing wrong with these brakes. I'm sure they'll work fine once I find an actual drum to put on there, not hub. And then I can go through these springs and take them out and clean them up, see what needs to be fixed on them. As far as all this wiring, I don't know what these switches do. I'll replace this. All this is garbage, going to come out. Battery cables, the whole works, all of it. Look at this, it's all frayed, broken wires. So certainly is a mess. That it doesn't look like this bike was on fire. What it looks like is, well, it looks like somebody might have lit that on fire, but there could have been right here. Maybe there was a fire right in this area here, but it doesn't. The wire doesn't look charred. What it looks like is looks like somebody dumped oil on it, oil and dirt. Maybe they were trying to put the fire out. But yeah, it cuts all this garbage out. I don't know what that is. Some sort of alien making a nest. I don't know. And all right, let me put you back on the stand. I'll get to work today. Day one of my 2-week vacation. I already posted my first video that I did yesterday on the motor work. So I'm going to try to get this done today and maybe post a video in the morning.